Hello, hello, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Welcome to Stars with Stasi, where no matter who or what you are on this cosmic journey, you are welcome here. Greetings, I'm Stasi, your trusted psychic, intuitive reader, and fellow Scorpio. This is our general reading for the week of December 8th through December 14th, or whenever you come across this message. And then we do have an upcoming full moon in Gemini. That'll be happening in our 8th house. So I'll be doing a separate video for that, most likely a live stream. So keep your notifications on so that you don't miss that. Also, guys, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit that share, like, subscribe, leave some comments. I respond to all of them. All right, guys, let's get into it. What are some general themes for Scorpio? We've got Root Girl, the disowned self, number 46. This always gives me that strength card vibes, right? Like looking your shadows in the face and taking control of a situation. And we're in a retrograde. So that feeling of having to go back and look at something that's uncomfortable, definitely happening this week. And for us, we can definitely see it happening in terms of old relationships, severing ties, anything financial as well, things having to do with other people's money, right? Our 8th house stuff, that's strongly coming through. And that full moon, like I said, is happening in our 8th house. So a lot of light being shed on things that we need to handle. We've also got number 15, which is in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. The Devil energy, which is Capricorn. This reads Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. Oh, I am so ready. I don't know about you guys. Comment below. Have you been feeling like you're stuck in a loop, or have you been feeling like something from the past, right? This retrograde, God, like something from the past has like shown back up and you're like, what are you doing here in my algorithm? Why? Right? And maybe somebody had something good show up. So I would love to hear that. But I know for me so far, it has presented itself as opportunities, things that I need to revisit and actually tend to. So don't forget, things in your garden can't grow if you don't tend to it regularly. So that's super important. Number 10, because this is 46, reducing to the number 10, letting us know that there's a new beginning available for a Scorpio, but we've got to face those shadows. We've got to conquer that devil energy. Both of these cards really speak to the ick, the stuff that we kind of bury in Pandora's box. So something here, we're going to go ahead and look further into that Scorpio. What is the main theme for Scorpio this week? What are we facing? And what is it that is going to be the driver the week ahead? Guys, with the holidays coming up, depending on where you are or what you celebrate, let me know. What are you planning to do, right? Are you going to stay in and do something more low key, or are you going to get out there amongst the people? So 8 of Wands energy, this is about taking action. Guys, remember how I told you this week we're going to be seeing things that we have to really look in the, like it. I keep hearing timed events. Whatever it is that's coming up has a deadline, right? Maybe you have something to do with paperwork, your business, contracts, even things having to do with, I'm hearing court dates, like paperwork submissions, like I'm feeling a lot of Saturn vibes, right? A lot of that stuff coming through, needing to be reworked, revisited. I'm hearing take action now. Make sure that you put aces in their places. If you need to hire someone, if you need someone to handle the heavy, right? So that you can kind of stay in higher vibes, then do that. Because this is coming across like something Scorpio, and not that we do. Sometimes we put things off, right? We kind of shove it to the side. It's like, not yet, not yet. Well, now's the time is what I'm hearing. Absolutely has to be done this week. And that's interesting. I'm getting that very strongly. Has to be done this week. So don't put something off, even if the deadline, for example, is later on down the road. This is coming through like the hustle and bustle of life is going to interfere, and you won't have the time you think you need. I'm sorry, Scorpio. Hold on. Everything fell. All right. Thank you. This is why I always put this cover on my legs, because you never know. All right. So to clarify that, I've also got the Knight of Swords. Interesting. Maybe you haven't been able to move on something, or you've had this analysis paralysis going on because you do need someone else's input or you're missing a piece of information. It's almost like whatever that blockage has been, the barrier preventing you from handling some very important business. That's how it comes through, timed and very important. Don't put anything off this week, Scorpio, because it isn't going to go away. Clarity comes, information comes, aces in their places, you take the action and it gets resolved. This is quick, fast moving energy. And I'm also hearing that whatever it is that you've been apprehensive about, it's like the minute you tackle it, boom, 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 just one thing after the other. So I'm also getting this really strong, what's it called? A very strong message saying, Scorpio, don't be so hard on yourself. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You couldn't have done, this is a fated event. You had to wait to manage this particular thing, which is why maybe you've been putting it to the back burner unknowingly. Oftentimes spirit works in the background, creating diversions or deadlines so that we have to act. So don't be so hard on yourself. The Chariot card, divine. I love the Chariot card. This keeps coming up. This has been coming up for like the last quarter of 2024 over and over again. This is a card of being in control of a situation while maintaining a place of neutrality, because you're never in control. Quite frankly, you're never in control if you're only seeing one side of the coin. You have to be able to look at something from both perspectives, or as many perspectives that are available to you. And they're all available. I guess it's how much energy do you want to put into a situation? Imagine, though, that you are the situation. It's requiring your energy. This is time for you to just sit still in your power, right? Attract what it is that you want. You're not in the energy of chasing anybody for anything, for any reason, ever, 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 right? Scorpio, we don't have time and energy for that. This is about knowing what it is that you want, attracting that magnetic towards you, right? Magnetic pull towards you. And also, like, this is really investigating both sides of the coin as well. That's how I'm hearing it. Also, when you start seeing humans showing up in the major arcana, that's divine intervention. This is also Cancerian energy. So let's take a look further. What external influences might be taking a toll on Scorpio? Interesting. Guys. All right, so I've got the 9 of Cups, 9 of Wands, and the Fool card. All of this came out together. So I feel like the apprehension here, Scorpio, and maybe some challenges and external influences that are affecting you are, you've worked really, really hard. And there's a lot of this wounded warrior energy because you are starting over and you are very independent. And you are fulfilled. That's how it feels. It's like you now know that after a period of hardship and really building boundaries and building the thing, whatever you've been working on all year, right? You know that now is a time to start over, and you've got to take that leap and you have to go after it. So I feel like as far as what external influences are headed your way this week, it's like, to be honest, you're feeling both exhausted and exalted, if that makes sense, right? On one hand, this is the strongest you've ever felt, the most accomplished you've ever felt. You've gone through several, right, iterations of the hardest time of your life. Fill in the blank, right? Especially depending on how old you are. You've done this a few times now. And, we've gotten through another birthing process, and there's a real exhaustion here. But now, as the year comes to a close, as we are approaching, 2025, where are you going to put your energy? And I think that the pressures of having to get some very Saturnian stuff done, right? Like this is coming across bills, taxes, closing out contracts, signing contracts, getting your stuff in order for your business, those types of negotiations. That's what this is coming through. You were missing some information. Now you get the information, you get the phone call back from the employer, whatever it is you've been actively taking directional, whatever it is that you've been taking active steps, intentional steps towards. I feel that you get more information and you're able to go full force. But it's also saying, hey, take a look at the entire picture. don't just get so excited that you're not willing to look at both sides of the coin. There's something there because you are facing some real challenges and overcoming some fears as you step into this week. Because like I said, you've got to face some demons this week. Then we've got this, starting over and taking maybe a leap of faith with this newfound independence, right? I feel like there's something here that gives you some freedom, some independence from a difficult situation. So let's look at hold on. I've got some that came through. I've got the Six of Pentacles. Now I'm going to put that back in the deck, but generally speaking, that's about being more balanced. So we're going to look at what potential challenges you might see this week. One second. So what obstacles or challenges does Scorpio need to be aware of as they're entering this period this week? One moment. The World card. So things are coming to an end, right? And I don't think that this is any shock to Scorpio, but maybe it is that key piece of information you've been waiting for, and it finally happens. This is the closing of a chapter, right? This month is bringing a lot of endings. I mean, it's December for starters. And so, we are closing out fall and we will be starting the winter months, depending on where you live. We will be having, those of us that follow numerology, your new personal year will be starting in January. So it would be a great idea to learn more about that. I can't stress that enough. And this World card is about the completion of a chapter in your life. You really are closing out these old contracts in the 3D and beyond. Because when I'm telling you that you've been putting something off and now is the time to take action, that's something very 3D. We're going to get into your spiritual message next, but this is saying, listen, before you can do anything else and enjoy all the things that are coming your way, you're going to have to handle some really serious responsibilities that you've been putting off, and it's going to allow you that clean slate to build on, a strong foundation. So now let's look at what action needs to be taken by Scorpio this week. I just saw the 10 of Cups, and they want me to acknowledge that one moment. So I'm hearing that it's going to be very important to pay attention to your inner circle for the remainder of this year, including your children if you have them. Keep an eye out on anything having to do with sadness, depression, heaviness, right? Because again, this is a releasing time for people everywhere, and that can feel very lonely and isolating. Many of us have sensitive children or are sensitive ourselves. You may pick up on energies outside of you that feel heavy. So try to do what it is that you can to acknowledge what is yours and what is not, so that you don't feel that that heaviness that isn't yours. And, if you have, this is coming through, I have to acknowledge it. If you have children, make sure to be available to have conversations with them, especially if they are growing and facing new challenges of their own. Like, stay in tune with your children or whoever it is that you are in their life, where you are a beacon of light is how it's coming through, a nurturer. All right. What else do we have for Scorpio? What actions can Scorpio take this week for their highest and best as they face challenges and overcome heaviness? I just saw the King of Cups, the King of Wands. And this is saying, look, take chances, be adventurous, right? Do things that make you excited for life, because everything else is always going to be here. And this is an opportunity to do something different, right? What else do we have? Two more came through. 10 of Cups again. Right, 10 of Cups with the Page of Cups. Page of Cups, usually a younger person. So, and I've already said about paying attention to the children in your life, but this is coming through a second time to say that many Scorpios may be experiencing a new romance, a new partnership. That's what I'm picking up. So it's not going to be for everyone. However, if you are looking for a relationship, I feel like you might meet someone who's actually just as quirky, just as curious, just as emotional, perhaps. Well, maybe not just as emotional. That's not the word I'm looking for. intrigued, curious. I think I said it already. This is coming through because I've got the Page of Cups with the 10 of Cups, Scorpio. So, and as far as advice is concerned, I would say that this is about tapping into that curiosity, that desire, allowing yourself to be a little less guarded this last half of the month, allowing yourself to have experiences that bring you joy, right? Not everything is something that you have to do. When it becomes obligation over desire, you're going down the wrong path. So let's keep going. Let's see. Is there any final messages? I see the 6 of Cups here, things coming full circle, potentially someone from the past. And I just heard a bridge to reconciliation. So, You may hear from somebody that wants to offer an apology or an explanation. And honestly, I'm getting 2 different messages, so I'm going to have to honor both of them. On one hand, Scorpio, some of you are going to get have a conversation with someone because they want to explain a perspective that they feel you don't see that they had with you. So someone wants to come clean or explain themselves or at least shine light on a perspective. Like I said, they don't feel that you on your own have seen. The energies could be switched, but I'm really picking up this is someone coming towards you, Scorpio. And the other thing that I'm picking up on, 3 of Pentacles, interesting, is that some of you are hoping to get reconciliation or an apology, and it's just actually not going to happen because that person was more focused on what they needed to do for themselves. Like if you were dealing with somebody, whether this be friend, coworker, whatever, that you can see is struggling, like in survival mode, and they ghosted you or they just haven't been available, that's not about you. So you're not going to hear an explanation. There's not going to be anything. They're not even thinking about it right now. So that person, maybe show them grace. If you are in the other pool of people where you have, like somebody maybe I don't know, like I always say this, somebody did you dirty, somebody did you wrong, you might receive some type of information about that. Anything else for Scorpio when it comes to the general messages before we move on to our spiritual guidance? And again, these videos are always chaptered, so you can revisit whatever works for you anytime you like. The Emperor card, Aries energy that comes through. So I feel like this is wrapping up the advice for the week when it comes to our influences, what we're going to be doing, how to handle it. Aries energy is very strong, very focused. The interesting thing about Aries, though, or the Emperor, is that in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, the Emperor has on armor underneath their robe, signifying always ready for a fight, like low key, low key, always guarded, always ready. And I feel like the advice here this week is maybe let down your guard a little bit. Allow yourself to be more curious, more childlike, more playful, right? Allow yourself some of that high vibing energy during a time where literally we receive the least amount of light, the most darkness, the most heaviness, the most release. Right? Spirit says, allow yourself to have some fun. You don't always have to be guarded. Allow yourself to really look at what it is that you want and focus on it, right? Focus on it and be determined and go for it. This is a time of taking action, and whatever it is that you're facing, whatever demons, whatever ailments, whatever fears, right? The proper tools are going to show up this week. You have to, of course, do the work. You can't just expect it to fall in your lap, but intentional daily steps will get you where it is that you need to be because you've got the World card coming through, the Fool card coming through, lots of 9s and 10s signifying release, endings, and rebuildings. All right, Scorpio, now let's look at what Spirit has to say for our spiritual message. What guidance is it that we need, and where is it that we can shine? What is the overall theme this week for Scorpio and our spiritual message? Thank you. This reads, what has your inner voice been asking of you? Listen and act. Very much like that Eight of Wands energy, this entire reading has been about digging deep, finding out what's true for you, not what's true for anybody else. Because, hey, let them have their truth and live their life, right? Stay in your lane, Scorpio. It is so much better when you're driving your own car in your own lane and the only passengers you have are the ones that you decided to pick up, not these stragglers that just hop in. Maybe I took it left. You know what I'm saying, right? That whatever baggage you have, it's because you're choosing it. So if you don't want it anymore, now's the time. Now's the time to release and renew. So what has your inner voice been asking of you? Listen and act. So I want to go deeper into that because this is our spiritual message. So what is the guidance? What are our guides, our higher self? What is it that we're meant to know this week? Show us what it is that we're meant to know. I just saw the Emperor again, and I hear, relax, don't be so guarded. Let us in. Let us in. 5 of Wands coming through. So this is competition, fighting, being guarded, right? Having to put the guns up, so to speak. So why the 5 of Wands? What is that? This is about change and disruption, potentially having to stand up for yourself this week, but also understanding that your truth is yours to share or not. It is not yours to convince or convey to someone because you are looking to change a person. Again, their life is their business, their opinions, their business. And the spiritual message here is very much about, first of all, you're not going to be able to speak caterpillar or butterfly language to caterpillar people. Like if they're not ready, they're not ready. Everyone has to go through their own growth process. And this remainder of this month and as we head into this week is going to be very much about potentially division, if that's what you want to see, if that's the way you want to live, or a time of exploration and curiosity. Both are very much the same thing, and I have to go back to this Chariot card. Both are true at the same time. You are in control of what you perceive, and you are in control of which way your energy goes. So what are you going to do with that? 5 of Wands. You may have someone or something get your goat. You may have a situation where you feel overwhelmed with the desire to correct, with the desire to sway, with the desire to speak and be heard. But that's true of everyone else as well, right? So we have to, at some point, get a hold of ourselves, Chariot card again, get a hold of ourselves and say, what is the importance of me convincing someone of something they're not even ready to hear? They're not meant to have my perspective. And this works both ways, right? So if someone's trying to convince you of something that isn't true for you, you can listen to it and thank the universe for showing you exactly what you don't want, or you can shut it down and move on. Anything else for this 5 of Wands that we need to know? Anything else, Spirit, as we face these challenges? The Magician card. The Magician card is the first card that the Fool encounters. And so we saw the Fool earlier in our general spread. And this is saying, as you are taking your leap of faith and as you are moving forward and as you are battling through the ick, the heaviness, whatever that looks like for you, the disagreements, the challenging energies that aren't yours but show up in your algorithm anyway, this is saying you control how to react. You control what happens next. You control what comes in and what doesn't. You can turn it off. You can turn it on. You can engage and you can disengage. But no matter what it is that you choose to do, it's meant to be your experience. And from that experience, you're meant to grow. And every experience you have becomes that catalyst, not catalyst so much, but becomes that, look, if you can imagine this lemniscate here, all right? And then on one half of this lemniscate is everything that's ever been fed into your psyche, all the energies there. And then it's like, if you can imagine you are a colander, so to speak, a strainer, and that's where we have in the center of the lemniscate, right? Something that, you have to sort through what you want to manifest, what's for you and what isn't. So allow whatever experiences to come your way, but you can always stop and say, it's not true for me. or it is true for me. What is it that I want? What am I manifesting? So this is very much your higher self says, don't forget how magical, how powerful you are. Thoughts become things. Words, when you speak them, are spells. You're speaking into existence a reality. So when you comment, Stasi, this is never going to happen for me, you are telling the universe, in fact, that's what you want. It is never going to happen for you. I can't find a job. And then you type that in. Yes, you are telling the universe, that's true. I can't find a job. More of that, please. Instead, I welcome opportunities that are for my highest and best, even when I can't see what that is intended to look like. You have to feel it from the inside that you are worthy, that you deserve it. So what spiritual lessons are unfolding for Scorpio this week as we are in retrograde Sagittarius season, a full moon in Gemini? What are all of these energies meant to show us? We've got the Wheel of Fortune, which is number 10. Again, keep showing up for Scorpio. We've got the Wheel of Fortune with the Three of Cups. Have some fun. It comes up again. Three of Cups can be a card of celebration and getting together and having fun and just being with others. This can be a card of creating something that is meaningful with other people that have the same goals and desires as you do. So networking, finding your tribe. And with this Wheel of Fortune, this is a fated event. So you may very well meet people that are meant to show up in your life because they are soul tribe vibes, someone from the past. And I don't mean necessarily like what's the word I'm looking for? A soulmate connection. This could be romantic or it could be friends. It could be anything at this point because the way it's coming through is that all of this release that's been going on all year, Scorpio, this is a time to say yes. Don't overextend yourself by any means. But if you get invited somewhere, if you are, being called to go do a group event, especially if it's something that you normally would never do, I think it's time to go because this is very similar energy because I'm remembering now to what came up last year. Also, I want you to go back. What were you working on in February, right? February, early March. Those are things and themes you'll be revisiting this week as well. So think back. And I think this is going to be really interesting time. I'm hearing allow the changes to take place. Allow yourself to be in situations and circumstances where you will be with others that are new to you, right? Because I'm feeling this new incoming energy. And this is really coming through like people and places that are meant for you. Especially if you're traveling or you're going somewhere that you normally wouldn't be. That's how it comes through. This is something you get invited somewhere that you normally wouldn't go. Like, for example, if I get invited to anything Christmassy or something like that, that's something it's not that it's been a while since I've done a lot of those things. And maybe I normally wouldn't, but maybe this year I might, And it's not so much for just Christmas, it's anything, right? Any holiday type thing. You never know. So let's see. What inner strength, I was just going to say, what inner strength, what kind of, what do we need to lean on within ourselves? And wait till you see this. I've got Death card facing the King of Wands. And the King of Wands, didn't that come up earlier? I feel like we've already talked to him, right, over here. So it could be one of two things, Scorpio, because look, Scorpios, a lot of us deal with Leos, or you might have strong Leo in your chart. So you could literally be having some type of face-off with a Leo, right? Something that you need to, this is coming through as a face-off. That's the best thing I can say. And you only know what's true for you. This could be that you are revisiting, again, some darkness that you are looking to transmute the energy around it with this Death card and the King of Wands. King of Wands is, in this card, here, you see that they're facing each other. This is how it's coming through a face-off. And when I think about what kind of strength it is that Spirit is saying that you can rely on, this is saying you can always rely on your strength to overcome, your strength to rebuild, your strength to always rise from the ashes. And that's really how I'm taking this. Yeah, true. Some of you might be dealing with the Leo. I know I've got some, Leo drama coming through. That whatever. I also have Leo in my chart. So, to separate my messages, what's coming through the collective, I would say instead, the bigger message here is that, you are rebuilding, right? Leo, fire, it's not even Leo, but like fire energy here. This is that Phoenix rising portion of the experience. Your strength, Scorpio, is to overcome. Your strength is to rebuild. Your strength is to transmute and define adventure and passion in anything, in any situation, even if it takes you some time, right? Scorpio will have an experience, burn it down, rebuild it the way they want to see, and then it becomes the best experience ever. And that's the alchemy. That's the process of alchemy, and that is your strength. And Spirit's saying don't shy away from that, because there are endings here, and it's making paths for new beginnings in friendship, new beginnings in community. There's a lot of energy here around giving to others in mass messaging. So you may very well have a platform that's going to take and grow legs. 10 of Cups again. 10 of Cups with the Queen of Wands. So I've got the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands showing up. So I feel like there's a lot of harmony within the home coming through. And again, Scorpio, that may be because you are in control of the home environment and you've made changes. So what type of mindset does Scorpio need to have this week? What is the advice here for Scorpio's mindset moving forward? I've got the Hanged Man with the Emperor card again. Guys, a lot of fire energy coming through for Scorpio. So, Hanged Man with the Emperor. The theme has been about being more playful. There's been a theme here about not being so guarded, being discerning with your energy, determining where it is that you want to focus. Spirit's reminding you that you're being uplifted during this time of rebuild. And here with the Emperor showing up again with the Hanged Man, I'm getting a few messages, and this is really cool. So for those of you that have been following me for some time, I work with the numbers 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Whenever I see that 4, that Spirit telling me you're a step closer, right? This is actually going to go well. All right, so let's talk about it. The Hanged Man is number 12. So the numbers 1, 2 equal 3. I always see this as 1, 2, 3 in the same card. It's saying, what are you willing to sacrifice to get what it is that you want? What are you willing to let go of? What addictions, afflictions, people, habits, daily routines? What things have you been putting on the back burner? We go back to the beginning of this reading. What is it that you're willing to give up so that you can get the truth of the matter, so that you can get those moments of enlightenment, so you can actually let this guard down? It's the hidden guard. It's what's underneath, Scorpio, right? We're really good at uncovering everyone's, how should I say? We are very good at looking beyond the robe of another emperor. We can always see someone else's thick metal armor. But oftentimes we carry ours and theirs and theirs and theirs, and it weighs us down for what seems to be an eternity. And Spirit says, what is part of what's making up your armor? What is it, right? Is it that past relationship is the hood? Is it that, the elbows and the arms are being covered by past abuse? Is your torso being covered by racism, hatred, homophobia? What is it? What of that is yours? What has been gifted to you? What did you create? Think about it and start peeling off that armor. It's time to unmask, be vulnerable, allow yourself to experience the highs and the lows, because it's part of our process and you cannot escape it. So I feel like this is saying allow yourself to experience your glow up. So let's see, what is the divine support being sent to Scorpio? What is the divine support being sent to Scorpio this week? Where can we see that we are not alone? I knew this card was going to come up, the World card again, and I'll tell you why I knew. Let me see what else is back here. Okay, yeah, so I'm not going to take those, but the World card came up. I knew it was going to come up because this is the 4 holy creatures, and this is a universal support for a new beginning because your chapter has closed. We are walking away from an entirely, like, new earth is here. That's the best thing I can say, right? I have been divining on this for quite some time where I keep feeling strongly February is going to bring changes like we have never seen before. I've talked a lot about politically what could be happening, you know, whether we see an inauguration or not. We do wish everyone the healthiest possible way through all of the changes that are going to happen, but we're going to see big shifts occurring globally and internally. What happens out there happens in here, right? It's all connected. And so this is about divine support, knowing that structures must fall for new to be built. And that's true for you as well, right? Think about that. You can't build a new life on a shaky foundation. So the message and the support here is no matter the shakeup, right? No matter what it is, stand in your power, reach into your chariot energy. Remember that you are on the rebuild. You are on the glow up. You are the phoenix rising, and you will live to see another day, right? There is a tomorrow. I can think of so many people that are coming through right now that have been longtime listeners who a year ago, 2 years ago, couldn't see the light of the day of tomorrow, right? They just couldn't see it. I've been there, but yet here we all are. And think about how much time, you know, each of us have spent before we understood that the universe has our back, living to die. A lot of us did, right? Before our spiritual ascension, before our wake up. I know I did, right? I was living to die. I thought I was never going to get out of the situation I was in. And here I am, better than ever. Faith matters. Hope matters. 1 foot in front of the other matters, Scorpio. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Spirit's knocking on your door. A little cheesy, but I said it. I said it and I did it, and what? All right, so now we're going to look at what we can manifest this week. What is our manifestation for the week? Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull a shadow card, even though I feel like this entire reading was facing our fears, our demons, rising above it. But I do want to pull this. Let's see what we have. Sadness versus anger. Scorpio, this is the card that comes up for us all of the time. And you know, I do personal readings. By the way, if you're looking for personal readings, stop over at www.starswithstasi.com. Link in the description box. All right, now, enough of that. So I always pull this card, always. 22, sadness versus anger. Okay, both are true. One is the other without enthusiasm. You're sad. You'd be angry if you had energy. Bottom line. So don't do that shit, right? Like, do it for a little bit. Like, sit in your sadness, sit in your anger, sit in your feels, and then you've really got to release it. It doesn't do you any good. Whoever pissed you off, they're living their best life. I promise you. And that's the worst part about it, too, because you want them to feel what you felt. Unfortunately, until they're ready to have any feelings or consider anything else other than their own world, right? It's not happening. So then it shifts from sadness to anger and anger to sadness. It just keeps going back and forth. Number 22. Look, 22 reduces to 4. 4 is a foundation. Is this the foundation you want to build? One on sadness and anger and, you know, the low vibing stuff? No. That's not what we want. What you want is you want to identify that this is what maybe you've been doing, what you've been thinking about, bringing about, where your energy is because of the heaviness of the time of year. And you can alchemize it, be the magician, turn that water into wine, Scorpio. You have the power to do it. It's okay to sit in the heaviness, but not too long, right? Because it will always be there. It's accessible. It's so accessible, right? So sit in it, acknowledge it. Know that if you're missing a loved one, they're still here with you. Know that if you are feeling isolated, you're not alone. You can come here anytime you want. I promise you that. Know that if you are feeling just the ick, the heaviness, you have the power to step on the other side of that energy source and thank it for reminding you that there's more to be had, right? There's more energy. You don't have to stay there because you can't appreciate the high vibes if you're always in them. All right, what else do we have for Scorpio manifesting to close out this week? Enjoy the tranquility of water. To remove stress, immerse yourself in a soothing bath. Walk near a body of water or gently splash water on your face. Get in touch with your elements, Scorpio. Stay hydrated. Be near water. If you are fortunate enough to walk and be around a body of water, do it, right? If you're not, listen to water flowing. Enjoy the power of a nice, strong, heated bath if you are fortunate enough. Stand in the shower. And if none of those options are available to you, because that is the truth for some of us, know that you can envision the elements that are within you and you can feel them and you can be part of that power simply by calling it to you. All right, Scorpio, thank you so much for your time and attention. Please don't forget to like this video, let YouTube know that I exist, comment below, share, all of the things. Welcome home, Scorpio. Don't forget to follow me on, I guess I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all the things. Oh, this is YouTube. Facebook, TikTok, whatever. I'm on all the platforms. And I really do appreciate your time and energy. Don't forget that we're all stars from the sky with feet on the ground, doing the best we can with the information that we have. So be kind to yourselves and each other. And may the magic that we weave and the words that we speak bring healing to all those who seek it, Scorpio. Have a great week ahead and shine brightly. Don't forget to have some fun.